Welcome back to another edition of Coffee Time with TD. Move over, Rova, and let TD take over. Be good or be good at it. Part dos on my reaction to President Joe Biden's exit speech last night. God gives us all 5 seconds before we make a decision, right? Take that pause and make a decision, right? 5 seconds. God gives us all 5 seconds. And our lives are a culmination of those 5 seconds. Right? And last night, the other thing that hit me is that the powers that be in Washington, D.C. took that 5 seconds and made a decision that Joe Biden could run for president again. And it really, the debate between he and King Trump, when Trump demolished him in the first 2 minutes, it really did, it hit me, but it didn't hit me, right? Last night, for some reason, it really hit me. And the reason why I'm hostile and angry is because it wasn't just a mistake by the Democrats, that 5 seconds that the good Lord above, God is great always in all ways, that they didn't take that 5 seconds that the good Lord above gives us and make the right decision. And sometimes the right decisions are the hardest and toughest decisions. But in no way, shape, or form was Joe Biden fit to run for president again against King Trump. And then you throw Kamala Harris into the fire, 90 days to campaign, win the presidency. And last night, it really just hit me of what the Democrats did to us, to the American people who aren't MAGA. You destroyed us. That 5 seconds that the good Lord above, you were unwilling to make that hard and difficult decision and say, Joe, you can't win. You can't run. 5 seconds. The good Lord gives us all 5 seconds before we make every decision, and our lives are a culmination of those 5 seconds. The good Lord above gave us all free will. He does everything for all of us, but he can't do it for us. Can't do it for us. And, it's why I say there's not one Democrat in Washington, D.C. that should still be in office. And I think that there shouldn't even be term limits. I think you should be able to fire politicians just like you and I can be fired. I don't know, referendums, term limits, time limits, right? Referendums. You should be able to go, whether it be county, state, national, the next day and hold a referendum or a election and say, yeah, you're voted out, you're fired the next day. When you do something this dramatic that has forever changed the course of America and the world. You let a man in office who is talking about invading Canada, Greenland, Panama, because you didn't take those 5 seconds, Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, etc., and make the hard decision, the tough decision, and you are responsible. I am not a empathetic or sympathetic person. I do not forgive and I do not forget. And I do believe in retribution. And retribution said every single one of you should be forced to resign or fired now. Every single one of you. I've even gotten past Hakeem Jefferson, Cory Booker. All of you. Off you fuck. We should be able to vote. There should be a referendum, a vote within the week. County, state, national, I do not know. For what the Democrats have done to this country. And the damage that is going to be done. And last night it just all came and hit me like a hurricane of looking at him saying, the good Lord in those 5 seconds. And they really thought that he could beat Trump. And then we're going to throw Kamala Harris into the fire and hope a black woman in America wins the presidency. 90 days, 120 days, whatever it was, to get out there and campaign. term limits, time limits. You have to be able to be fired. Referendums, just like all of us. No more of this. You do something like this, you get fired the next day. Term limits, time limits, referendums. And it hit me last night because what the Democrats have done to this country and the damage, you won't live long enough to see it recover. Neither will I. And it hit me last night looking at Joe Biden, just the magnitude of what Schumer, Pelosi, the entire Democratic Party did to us and what it did to this country and will do. Term limits, time limits, referendums. Every single person has to go. It is time, because last night I sat there and I said, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. And that's the decision that they made, and the American people. Unbelievable.